Coming to you live. The baddest radio TV talk show around.
My better. We got everything politics on the tip. We got everything media TV tip. We got everything politics on the tip. My better. Follow my better. Introducing your host and co-host,
Kevin Nicosia.
The first 2020, that's for all you Virgos, and we're live in our studio. This is My Better Half Unplugged.
I know he didn't just say that. All you Virgos.
It's my month.
Whatever. Whatever.
I'm your host, Kevin.
I'm your girl Cassiva, and you can follow Better Have Kevin Cassiva Unplugged right here on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Better Have Network. Right. I said it. That's right.
All right, everybody, take a breath. This has been a crazy week, and a lot of things have happened. So we had to choose one, and so later on tonight, we're going to do something special. And because of this pandemic, I don't think we really are keeping count of the people that we are losing during this year. You know, we lost Kobe Bryant. You know, we lost John Lewis. And now we lost the Black Panther.
Did you know that?
And John Thompson passed away also.
Yeah.
I'm talking about major icons in the Black community. And so we want to tonight give a tribute to Chadwick Boseman because of the impact that he had on our society, especially our young kids. Yeah, so we want to do something special tonight. But we got a great show, so that's later on tonight.
Yeah, tonight. Stay
so y'all hang in
to the end.
and just want to show a tribute to him.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the news, but I'm gonna have to do on the fly with you guys to tell y'all about the news. It's just ridiculous, crazy, especially about Breonna Taylor and stuff like that. Man, I'm gonna have to bring out Cookie.
Yeah, so you know, this next 60 days, hey, we're gonna be on a roller coaster. So y'all just get ready. Y'all need to stay in touch because a lot of things are gonna happen, and we're gonna really need some information to get through this. But tonight we're gonna have a great show. You know, we're kind of in a shutdown, so we're gonna bring on somebody that's gonna give you some encouragement about when this pandemic is over and when our quarantine is lifted. And I know you all are dying to, you know, make plans, hopefully next year, but we got somebody that's gonna tell you about that. And you can probably make some
travel arrangements?
Yeah, some travel arrangements and some money on the side.
Yeah, that too. But we also want to talk to him about, like, it's getting ready to storm outside right now. Should I go see?
No.
Oh, don't go see? Okay, I'll stay here.
Yeah, we don't.
But it's about to rain. It's about to rain outside. And let me tell y'all something about me. If y'all don't know me, if y'all see me gone, that's because it's thundering and lightning. And ever since a tornado, I don't play. So if I say I'm gone, I'm for real gone. Okay? Because I get real nervous. And I might start crying because I hyperventilate when the storms come.
They actually keep bags packed.
For real.
When it clouds up, they actually keep bags packed because we were in the house when the tornado hit. So she has tornado withdrawal.
Yes.
So they keep bags packed. So when there is a tornado or something lurking out there, some inclement weather, you know, they take off. And
for real.
So, you know, they think it's going to strike twice in the same place, but it's not likely. But because she's my wife and I have to just...
He has to go too.
I have to go too.
So if y'all see screen blank... We go. We heading down 635.
The wind start blowing, it's over with.
It's a wrap.
Right.
That's why we have somebody here tonight gonna talk about insurance too.
Right.
We had someone last week talk about what you do after the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're gonna have somebody talk about before the storm.
Right.
Okay. So who we got tonight?
We have Boderick. They told me how to pronounce the name. Boderick Hall.
I ain't want to jack it up.
Yeah.
So I'll let you say it.
A farmer's insurance. And also he has a business career that he does on the side that he's going to talk about also. So we're going to welcome him to our show. How you doing, Boderick?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
All right. All right.
Good to have you. Good to have you tonight.
Thank you so much.
And we're not gonna keep you long because I know you say you're hungry. I say hungry, but we're gonna let you get out and get you something to eat.
Yeah, we know it's kind of bad outside, so we don't want to keep you long, but we want to give our listening audience some vital information because we're still in the peak of hurricane season. We're in the peak of weather. Anything happens. We have out of season weather now. Usually, when we went through our tornado, it was Christmas.
Yeah.
It was the day after Christmas. So we have unseasonable weather, and a lot of times, we're not ready for that. And so we try to bring on people who have information so that we don't have losses. Because a lot of times when we're unprepared, we're going to suffer loss. So how long have you been with farmers?
I've been with farmers almost 3 years now.
Okay. We always get a bio from you. And sometimes we just, my wife, we sit down and we get our own copies. And I look at it and try to look at the track record or the roadmap to this person's success. So sometimes we ask you, where you're from, what was it like kind of growing up? Because there's a pivotal point somewhere in there that takes you to the place that you are now. So where you from?
Well, I'm a native of Houston, born and raised in Houston, Texas, in 3rd Ward.
She's shaking her head, man.
That's because you messed up when you said you're from Houston. Oh, Lord.
Hey, listen. Cream rises to the top, right? So
okay.
Cream rises to the top, but I'm a native of Houston, born and raised there. Family was there. And, I went through education, the whole, elementary school, high school, college, the whole 9 yards right there in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, with another company that I worked for, they moved me to Dallas in the early 90s, in 1991. And I've been in Dallas now almost as long as I ever lived in Houston.
Yeah, I need to ask you something personally because I'm up here. Did you ever think you were going to move to Dallas?
I did not. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I had the thought never crossed my mind. I mean, there's always this healthy rivalry between Houston and Dallas, and I don't know why. But when I was there, I mean, I frowned on Dallas. But now that I'm here, man, I love Dallas. I'll be honest.
Culture.
Yeah, I absolutely love Dallas. So I don't know why that exists, but it's true. I mean, I never would have thought that I would have been living in Dallas almost 30 years.
Right. Yeah.
For you to be in the insurance business, your education doesn't say that.
It doesn't.
No, it does not.
So how does an insurance person's expressions show? I mean,
I'm saying you're all about chemistry and chemical engineering. I don't
gotcha.
What you was a plant engineer?
So yeah, I did. I was a plant engineer for a while. So when I graduated from college, I went to work for Frito-Lay right out of college.
Mm-hmm.
And the program they have new engineers. I was an engineer upon graduation. They put you in the plant so you can learn how the plant operates before you go to headquarters and you starting to do projects and things that impact the plants, but you have no idea what the impact will be. So right out of college, I went in and I did engineering projects in the plant. And then I was a a production supervisor. I managed a group of people that were making Doritos, Tostitos, and Fritos. And then I was a packaging supervisor. So I managed a group that was packaging potato chips. We were in the potato chips department. And right around the time that I was supposed to get a promotion at the plant, they actually moved me to headquarters, and I went to Frito-Lay R&D. And I became a research engineer, a food engineer for Frito. And I did a bunch of different tours inside of research and development. And the research plant, they have a plant right over here, not far from where the old Cowboys headquarters used to be. The Cowboy Stadium used to be not in Valley Ranch, in Irving. No, in Irving. So the old plant, Texas Stadium, there's a plant. It used to be a research facility right connected to that Irving plant, and that's where I was. And we would do test markets, right? So before we take a product national, we run a test market, and that's the research plant. It's not a full production plant. Those are the engineers and the scientists and the marketers are in trying to get the product right, trying to figure out how to make it right and meet all the expectations that consumers have. And then we ship it out and see how the product does. So I was a plant engineer in that environment, and then eventually moved on into other areas. I went and got an MBA and all of that.
I always tell, because I was a plant supervisor also, I used to tell people that your best education is on the job. Because while it's frustrating and you don't like it, there's some things that are being developed. Because they just didn't walk in there and say, hey guy, come on up here. They were watching some things develop in you. So I would tell people, I don't care what the job is, when you get there, I don't care how bad it is, something's being developed in you.
Absolutely. I mean, you're exactly right. So just keep in mind, when you're graduating from college, you're 21, 22, 23, somewhere in there, and let's just say you go to be a production supervisor. Right. Well, the people that you're managing are 30s, 40s, 50-year-olds, right? And as a 22-year-old, you're trying to manage a group of people or supervise a group of people that are in some instances twice your age, right? So you can't just go in and tell them, because they clearly know more about what they're doing than you do. Right. But you have to be able to develop a healthy respect with them and take the time to understand what issues they might have and understand the process. And if you go in being a know-it-all, I mean, they're going to run you in the ground, right? And you got to go in and develop a rapport with them, trust with them. Right. And in a lot of instances, they'll actually help make your life easier. Right. Oh, it's raining, so she's tuned out.
It ain't raining, it's storming.
Well, at least you're at home. I'm still at the office, okay? Right. So.
Right. But one thing I used to tell, in that kind of industry, I used to tell people, and they didn't understand. I said, nobody gives 100% at work. And people used to frown at me sometimes. We would be in a staff meeting. And I said, let me explain myself. I said, and you can witness to this. You would have people, they're only going to give 50% to the organization or the company, because a lot of times they don't think they're getting paid enough. The other 50 is for you.
That's right.
Because they will come to you, Mr. Hall, you want me to do this? Not the company. Mr. Hall, Mr. Hall, you want me to do this? That makes you a great manager, an asset to their company, because the other 50 they do for you.
Right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And the best thing you can do, at least from my experience, is if you don't have to do their job, but you have to understand their job, right? If they say, I have a problem here, you need to be able to look at it and say, yeah, that's a real problem, right? And if they have a respect for you like that, they will work for you.
That's right.
Right? If you understand what they're trying to get accomplished, and if you're there helping them, I mean, they'll work for you, to your point. And a lot of times it's not the company so much as, I like the person I'm working for. I don't want to see him fail.
Yeah, and you become a part of them. You know their wives. You know when they have babies. You know the
All of
mother
that.
pass away. You become a part of that.
And they will share that information with you,
That's right.
right? They will share that information. And, if you've been in a manufacturing environment, people can get hurt, right? And if you show that you care, not that you're the doctor,
Mhm.
but call your employee, just check to see how they're doing,
Right.
right? You don't have to even go all the way to their house or anything, but if you let them know that they are not a piece of meat, right, that you just trying to use to get to some end, but if you genuinely care about them, man, that will carry you a long way, not just with that employee, but with all your other people on that's on your staff.
Right.
So, what made you go into insurance?
Well, it's interesting. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think I would. I didn't think I would have to, right? I joined PepsiCo right out of college, and PepsiCo has this little thing that you don't hear a lot about anymore, and that's called a pension. And companies don't do that anymore. Even
No.
PepsiCo froze theirs out, I think in 2010 or somewhere around there. So I started in 1988, and I had been with PepsiCo 28 years. And if they hadn't laid me off, and they did lay me off 5 years ago, I would still be there. But all I needed was 2 more years with them to be able to collect a full pension.
Hmm.
I collect the full pension and my 401k and options and all of that kind of stuff
Mhm.
that you get as you work for big companies. I wouldn't be in insurance. So PepsiCo laid me off 2 years short of when I would be eligible for a full pension.
Wow.
I was an executive with the company, and I look for equivalent opportunities, not just in Dallas, but all over Texas. I told you I'm a native Houstonian, so my family's there. My wife is from Fort Worth. So, I mean, I would have moved to Austin. I would have moved to Houston. Certainly, I would have been happy to find something here in Dallas, but I could not. Opportunities for what I did at my level all led me out of Texas, led me to Seattle, right?
Right.
So,
Mhm.
led me to Atlanta, led me to
Yeah.
Cincinnati. At that age, I was in my early 50s. I wasn't interested in relocating, period.
Right.
If it had happened at 42, right, or 32, I'm game, right? I got nothing but time. But at that point, I didn't want to relocate. I didn't really find anything appropriate for me here in Texas. So I started looking at businesses, and I looked at quite a few, but I landed on insurance because more than anything else, I like to talk to people, right? And of all the things you can do, insurance is one of those things where you just really just sit down and talk to people and explain things in simple terms to them, and they sell themselves. You don't have to sell people. That's my experience. If you just talk plain to them, help them understand what the different options are, there's really not a whole lot of selling to be done.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, as an insurance agency, I was going to ask you how many company products do you offer your clients?
Wow, a lot. The only thing my office doesn't do, all right,
Right.
is financial planning.
Okay.
So, and I need to go get licensed for that, and I probably would have done it this year, but COVID hit. I'll probably go get Series 6 and 63 licenses sometime next year. Yeah, sometime next year. Um, but I sell life insurance, right? I sell term and whole life insurance. I sell universal life insurance. I sell personal lines, property and casualty. So that's your home, that's your auto, that's if you have a boat or a motorcycle or RV, right? Or rental properties. I do commercial lines, right? So I write business owners policies,
Mm.
workers' comp policies, commercial auto policies. So I have the full spectrum that Farmers offers, except for financial planning. And I just need to go back and get the licenses for that.
Okay,
Mhm.
I want you to explain this here for our audience too,
Hmm.
because we experience this in our businesses also. Because of COVID and because of the economic turndown, a lot of people are doing like what we're doing. You have businesses at home, you know,
Hmm.
people starting their own business, private businesses. And so a lot of times they don't realize that they're running a corporate business and they don't necessarily insure themselves.
That's a true statement. And, you know, you can run a business out of your home and you can have the homeowner's insurance, but then you still need a general liability policy for your business as well. Because if your insurance company finds out, well, this 10 by 10 square foot area was actually used for a business and you don't have business coverage for that, they're not going to cover it. Right now, if it's just a computer or if it's just a printer, that's one thing. But if you're really running a business out of your home and the insurance company finds out about that, that is not going to be covered.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It's not going to be covered.
And once again,
And business owners policies aren't that expensive either, particularly for like a home situation, right? It's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things.
You know what we learned the hard way was that, say for instance, someone has an apartment, and they stay in an apartment, and you have to have insurance in your apartment as well, right?
Yes,
So
you do.
if they move out and then they move somewhere else, and say like for instance when we had our tornado, our daughter had just moved out her apartment. She had come back home because they was getting
Mhm.
her apartment ready, and the tornado hit. So they told her after the fact that she should have kept her apartment insurance and brought it with her, and she could have filed on that insurance.
She
So
absolutely could have.
yeah, but people don't know that because we didn't even know that to,
mhm,
like I said, after the fact. But now we know
right,
a lot of stuff. Now we
right.
know.
And because even during that time, there's an apartment complex that was off the freeway. It was
Hmm.
demolished, and the
Hmm.
people couldn't get back in,
Mhm.
and they lost all of their things. They lost all of it. They weren't covered because you think you're in an apartment, yeah, what I need insurance for, but it leveled that apartment complex, and it had
So
about 100 units.
yeah, let me ask this question: who was her insurance with?
uh, can we say? Or should we say?
Sure, say it. Yeah, why not?
Well, it was with State Farm, but
It
like I
was State
say,
Farm.
we didn't know at the time that you could do that. But now, like I say, just a little FYI for people who are out there listening to us, that if you're in an apartment and you decide to move back home or you move with someone else, keep that insurance going. Even if you're not in an apartment, keep
Mhm.
it going because if anything happened, like a fire or a tornado or anything might hit, you can file on top of that policy.
Can I share one thing with the audience and probably you guys as well? Okay.
Yeah.
Um, in the insurance business, you have companies that if you need something, you call an 800 number, you get a switchboard, and they address what you're looking for. And if you have another problem, the next time you call back and you're going to talk to somebody else, and you don't really get personal attention.
Mhm.
What I offer and what State Farm offers and what companies like Allstate offer is you have an agent. And what I would say to you guys is it's fair that you didn't know, but you have an agent and you should have called your agent. Use your agent to help you with those decisions. Because I'll give you an example. I had a client that did what you did. He didn't ask, and he did something that was really, really foolish, but it was really expensive on his side. He didn't talk to his agent, me, because I would have advised him against it. The guy was getting ready to retire. Okay. And he wants an RV, but he wants to buy an old school bus and put $80,000 into making it the way he wanted to. So he was gonna, like, you know how you see how they rehab homes? He was gonna rehab the school bus, right? And that was gonna be his RV, right? That was his idea. Now, why he wanted to do that, I don't know. But guess what?
Mm.
No one would insure it for him.
Well, sure.
So if he had asked me up front, I would have done the homework for him, and I would have told him, don't do that. You're not going to be able to get insurance for it. And my point to you guys about what happened with your daughter is you have an agent. You got to, it's not farmers, right? But you have an agent. Call your agent and ask that question. Don't just do something, right? You have the type of insurance where you have a person to call.
Mm-hmm. Well, she
right?
just boarded here for a couple of months, and she was finna move out, and then out of season, here comes something.
But they did tell us afterwards. That's how we found out. It was after the fact. So
right, it's kind of like we're not blessed to know everything,
right?
Right. So I'm going to ask you this, and you guys have worked in corporate America. When you retire, do you just figure out, well, I'm going to just start withdrawing my 401k when I get ready, or I'm going to start withdrawing my IRA, or whatever you have, or do you go to someone that has experience with it? Because guess what? You got to coordinate that when you start taking your Medicare, right? And you got to coordinate that with when your wife can get it. I mean, we don't know how to do those things naturally. There are times when you have to go get professional help. You have an insurance, use an insurance agent for that. When you get ready to retire, right, you should talk to people about how to get the most out of everything that's coming to you. Because if you don't, you could shortchange yourself. And that's just a lesson in life.
And then another thing is, I'm gonna ask you, say like if somebody wants to, when they start shopping around for insurance, do you guys look at their occupation, their credit rating, their education? Do all that count against them?
Well, okay, so let's be clear. Education, not so much. But do they look at your credit? Of course they look at your credit, because that's a predictor of your ability to pay things back, right? So if you have bad credit, your insurance is going to be higher. That's just, it's the truth. Period. Because you have a history. The reason you have bad credit is you have a history of not paying your bills on time, right?
So what I'm saying is, if it's a predictor of you can't pay, and it has to be because of bad credit history or bad payment history or something like that, then if the price is higher, you know they're not going to pay.
Well, so just think about it like this. Insurance is about risk. So who is more risky? The person that pays their bills on time all the time, or the person who does not? It's really no more complicated than it's no more complicated than that.
Right. And it's a disservice to that person anyway, because if you, like I said, if you are letting policies lapse, you lose your credibility. That's like auto insurance.
And the worst,
that's the first thing they ask you.
Yeah.
They want to know what happened in that gap. When the last time you had insurance? Well, February. Well, what happened? Yeah. So you still have a car.
That's
you were driving this car
without insurance. That's the worst thing you can do, right? The worst thing you can do is go for, like you said, it's you let your insurance stop in February, and here it is September. That's the worst thing you can do, because one, you're breaking the law, right? That's that from an auto perspective, you're breaking the law. A mortgage company, if they find out you don't have homeowners insurance, they're going to put it on themselves because their money is tied up. And guess what? You got to pay that bill to them.
That's right. And a dealer will do that too.
Yeah.
You find out you drop insurance, because you're not going to leave the parking lot.
Right.
Without that car being covered, because it's not paid for.
So the worst thing you can do is allow your policy to lapse, particularly like auto insurance. That's the worst thing you can do.
Right.
Can a person see their auto insurance company's surcharge schedule? That, for people who don't know, that's like after you have an accident, it tells you how much your insurance is going to increase.
Well, I mean, yeah, companies, I mean, so let's say you renew in December, but you had an accident in September. They don't have what your increase is going to be at the end of September, for example, right? So it's not like you can look at it early on.
Okay.
There is there is a window though where it will be available, and your agent should be letting you know that.
Mhm.
Okay.
So since we had a Hurricane Laura, uh,
Mm-hmm.
last week, I just talked to one of my friends in Beaumont, and they were going
Mm-hmm.
down there to help, some of the families, some of the churches that got demolished down there. And so I saw one area. Uh, it's going to be a while before that one comes back. So what happens in an area like that it becomes a disaster area? There's going to be disaster relief. FEMA's
Mm-hmm.
going to come in,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks like Puerto Rico,
Right.
and it looks like, I mean, the water's still there. And with the water still being there, other things are going to develop also
Mm-hmm.
because because of that. So
Mm-hmm.
when things start doubling down, hopefully, we're still kind of in the summer months. They don't get mold, or
Mm-hmm.
it's just going to be hard for those people to uh, rebuild, kind of in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you all do as an insurance company? You look in the area, and and the insurance company kind of wagging their head saying, "Yeah, this is going to be a tough one."
Yeah. So it's not all the insurance company. If a couple of things. One, when FEMA comes in and FEMA gives you relief, FEMA is helping you just get by from day to day, right? But let's just say you had a home and you had homeowners insurance. Your homeowners insurance is intended to make you back whole, put you back the way you were. Now, um, they can't get started rebuilding your home if the city is saying, hold on, this is still an area that's it's contaminated for like water or whatever. So the city or the county, or in some cases even the state may say, wait a minute, I know you got your insurance and you're ready to build, but for other reasons, we can't get started. But if you have homeowners insurance, right? A tornado or a hurricane or whatever comes through and wipes your house down to the ground, your insurance company is going to put you back whole if you have
Mhm.
insurance, homeowners insurance, and you got the right types of
Let,
coverage.
let me give you a scenario. Give
Okay.
you a scenario. In a situation like that,
Mm-hmm.
um, weather comes through, hurricane, whatever, tore the area up. Okay. The family, one of the members got caught in there and one died.
Mm,
Okay. It was the
mm,
husband died.
mm,
The wife, and he was the breadwinner. The wife
mm,
did not have
mm,
a job.
mm,
And the area is a disaster area, so they can't go back into it for 6 months. She doesn't
mm.
pay the mortgage. What happens?
Did they have homeowners insurance?
Yeah, they didn't pay the mortgage.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let's take a step back, right?
Okay.
Because this is a real situation. Did they have insurance, life insurance?
I don't think so.
Right? Because right, so I sell life insurance and I am a big proponent of life insurance
Right,
for
right.
those kinds of reasons, right? So step one, um, a hurricane comes through, your husband gets killed in the hurricane, the wife in this instance doesn't work outside of the home. The husband was the primary breadwinner. Maybe he has life insurance, maybe he does not. But guess what? One of the very first questions that I would ask you to would be, how would your wife be able to live without your income? And then the next question that I would ask her is, how would you be able to live without your husband's income?
Mm-hmm.
And if the answer to those is, I don't know, you really got to have life insurance,
Right.
right?
You know, I mean, how many I don't knows on the block?
Yeah, yeah. So you got to have, so step one is life insurance, because the homeowner's insurance is going to take care of itself when the city or the state or the county or whoever says, okay, we'll issue permits and you can go in there and build, right? But life insurance takes care of those other things on, hey, I'm not trying to make my husband or my wife a millionaire when I leave, but I want them to be able to maintain the standard of living that we have right now, right? So you take time, it's thoughtful, and you figure out, well, how much would she need if I pass? How much would I need if she passed? And that's what we go insure, right? And that's a conversation that I have with every one of my clients. Now, a lot of them don't want the insurance, and that's fine. I make a note of it, because 6 months or a year later, I'm going to ask them about it again, because I believe the best love letter that you can give your wife is a check upon your death.
Right.
Yeah, a check. She can live. She doesn't have to sell the house, right? Or in this case, she can't even rebuild the house, right? But she can live, maintain the current standard of living, and that's one less worry as the person that she loves the most in the world is gone. That's one less worry she has on her mind, or the reverse, right? So life insurance is absolutely critical.
Right.
I like that love letter.
It is. That's exactly what it is.
That's a good love letter.
That's the sweetest love letter you can give her, is comfort. Either of you is comfort in that situation.
Yeah.
Well,
as long as she knows, sign Kevin.
Let's see.
With that love letter, we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come right back.
Okay.
Hey, it's Tuesday, June the 2nd, 2020.
On Facebook.
Hey, you know, everybody knows that we're in a pandemic and schizophrenic period of time. And it seems like everything is changing from hour to hour. But even though there's a civil unrest, there's still a pandemic problem lurking. And coming to you live from our home studio, you're listening to My Better Half. And you can check us out on...
Not a damn thing.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
I'm your host, Kevin.
And I'm your girl, Garcia.
And this question is for both of you. Is it still, in today, the color of the skin, or is it the state of mind? Is racism the color of the skin, or is it the state of mind?
Since I gave that long...
Yeah, I was gonna ask Doug.
Go ahead.
Well, it is...
And you know, in the 60s.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Right around, I guess, the late 60s, we had to Hey, we're back, and this is my better half unplugged. Sorry about that. Sometimes,
Okay.
hey, my better half unplugged, and I'm your host, Kevin.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm your girl, Caesar.
Yeah.
And you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and betterhalfnetwork.com.
And we've been talking to Mr. Broderick Hall. I had to get that message. That's a tongue tie.
That's why I let you say it.
I ain't want to tell you how I was going to pronounce it, but we've been talking about insurance, and we're going to transition into something else that he does that you all may be interested in.
Which is traveling, which something we love to do, but COVID keep us away. And I'm so glad it's getting, my daughter came down here a minute ago talking about mama's a tornado down on the ground somewhere. So y'all know, okay, I'm being cool right now,
Right.
but anyway, let's get to this traveling thing. Mr. Hall has a traveling program, or however you want to call it, called I Boomerang. I had never heard of it, but apparently it's a pretty popular thing going on. So what I need to know is, what is I Boomerang?
Yeah, so I Boomerang is a technology company. And one of the things that we do in that technology company is we do travel, but we also do ride share. And coming this weekend, we're going to announce another vertical that we have in iBoomerang. So travel is a big part of what we do because the travel industry is one of the largest, if not the largest industry in the world. But what we really do, iBoomerang is really a technology company in this regard. Just like Amazon uses artificial intelligence to understand people's buying characteristics, what they want to buy. That's where we want to go with iBoomerang, right? So Amazon, again, example, if Amazon originally was a book company, they sold books online. But what Amazon started to do over time is, based on what you were reading, they knew what your interests were.
Gathering information.
Right. The artificial intelligence and they look at what you're interested in, and so now they know how to market to you. So now if you go to the Amazon site and you're looking at the Amazon site and I want golf clubs, they know. They also tell you, if you've been on Amazon, people who look at these clubs also looked at this bag, they looked at these balls, that's the technology. Okay. And what we're doing with iBoomerang is just that. So yes, we're leading with travel, and travel is a big part of what we do, but travel is going to help us to understand more and more about what that consumer wants. That consumer on his or her vacation took a wine excursion, or they took a cooking class, or they went scuba diving. All of that gives us information about how to market different things to that consumer. And you'll see over time that we're adding more and more verticals to what's a part of iBoomerang. But travel is big. I think we have a great travel platform for people to take advantage of. But that's what iBoomerang is. It's a technology company more so than just a travel company.
We became a target market from timeshare.
Mm-hmm.
They call us 8 or 9 times a year, trying to get us to go on a trip. They know we've been there before,
Mm-hmm.
and offer something. You get there, they want you to buy something, but they want to offer that so you can see it. So in your market, you all are targeting an audience. Now I think theirs had an income level.
Okay.
That's what they were targeting. So
Mm-hmm.
if you was making 30,000, they weren't even going to call you.
Well, that was the easiest way to get out of the conversation, is just tell them you didn't have any money, right?
Right. Yeah. No. They would stack it and lower it and lower it and lower it to meet your economic need. But so you all target an audience uh, to get them to fly, to enjoy, and then become
Drive
yeah,
and drive.
and then become a residual customer,
Yeah. So think about it like this: people are going to travel anyway,
right?
right? People are going to travel anyway. So if we can help them save money on travel that they were going to take anyway, because what we're doing is we're not saying we got a deal for you if you choose this hotel over here, right? We're saying, what hotel did you want to go to? We're going to give you a better rate than what you would get just going online. What airline were you going to fly? What rental car were you going to rent? What excursion were you going to take? And what we intend to do is give you a better price than you would get online. This is something you were going to do anyway. But when you do all of those things, right? So I was on vacation and I went jet skiing, or I was on vacation and I went horseback riding. Whatever it is, it's given information about your likes as a consumer, and it gives us information on how to target other products to you.
So how do this work? Because this is like a multi-level marketing platform, right? So
Exactly.
how does it work? How do you're engaging people to come in and do what by do it by traveling or the driving, the Uber driving, the what are you guys doing to entice people to come and be a part of your platform?
Sure. So everybody take, or a lot of people, I won't say everybody, a lot of people take shared rides, right? Uber or Lyft or things like that. So we went out and targeted a company that could do it for iBoomerang, and it's specific to iBoomerang. And it's under beta test market right now in the Dallas area and down in Houston and places like that. But we're targeting people at what they do, right? So if you live in the uptown area, you're probably taking Uber or Lyft all the time, right? Or if you live out in Plano, you are taking Uber and Lyft and all that all of the time. So we want to target people for what they're doing on a daily basis anyway. So it's not like um, I'm trying to get you to buy something different than what you already buy. I'm saying you were going to travel anyway. I'm going to try to make it better for you by reducing your costs. Or you were going to use Uber anyway. I'm trying to give you a Vibe ride, get you to use Vibe ride, and I'm gonna make it to. I'm gonna have the music that you want on because you're gonna tell me what kind of music you like. I'm gonna have the temperature you want in the car because you're gonna tell me I like it cool or I like it warm or whatever. If I'm a woman, I'm gonna say I don't necessarily want a male driver. I want it's called girl power. I want a female driver to pick me up when I'm coming home late at night from a concert, right? I feel safer with a woman than I do a man. So we want to cater to what your needs are. And that's how we're going after people. What would you have done anyway? Give it to you, but make it nicer for you.
So I know there's a fee always involved in something. So
Always.
so what are your fees for someone if they were interested or they wanted to talk to you a little bit more about this later on? Uh, what are the fees?
Yeah, so we have three levels to get into iBoomerang. Now, that's different than just doing a vibe ride or taking a trip. But if you want to be an ambassador for iBoomerang, I think that's what your question is, then there are fees associated with joining iBoomerang. And as one would have it, we have coach class, business class, and first class. And all that determines is how much um, of our products you're able to sell. So at coach class, there's only so many products you can sell. We give you more products that you can sell if you're in business class, and then everything that's possible if you sign up as a first class member. Coach class is $250 to join. Business class is $500, and first class is $1,000.
So the higher you go, the more
The more
benefits you
products
get.
you can sell, the more products you get the ability to sell and make commissions on.
The philosophy that you were stating a few minutes ago is sort of where it's probably going to be the next, not big thing, but it's going to be the next way of life. Um, that term, you were going to do it anyway, is what people are capitalizing on right now. I remember them on the news, they were talking about a lot of these people talking about the pandemic, and their jobs shut down and the kids can't go to school and they're at home. So they're trying to make daycare a right to parenthood. And they're trying to network, I guess, some daycares under the umbrella of a company where daycare becomes free, but they pay them, but you pay something for that discount of daycare. They're trying to work it out. So what you was talking about was,
Mm-hmm.
knowing the likes, the profile of people
Mm-hmm.
that do
Mm-hmm.
stuff day to day, so it doesn't just burn you every day that you're doing it. We can make it convenient. We can
Absolutely.
put you in a group and make this style of living convenient to you, so you don't have to go and burn your pocket every day trying to make it work as an expense in your house. And that's what they do. A lot of things become the cell phone. The telephone wasn't a life item in the house, not the cell phone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The TV wasn't a life item in the house, but now it is. Computer wasn't a life item in the house.
Right.
So now that becomes part of the infrastructure. So your profile is what they're doing right now, is they're trying to gather the information on the profile and create an infrastructure of travel for you.
And let me tell you, um,
They're gonna put somebody out of business. That's what's gonna happen.
well, but let me tell you, it's already happening though,
I know it.
right?
I know it.
So Amazon has already done
I
it,
know they already doing it.
right? Amazon has already done it.
Right.
Hey, listen, Facebook has already done it.
Already
So
done it.
let me ask you this question, and,
Okay.
and you tell me if this has ever happened to you. You and your wife are having a conversation, okay? And it could be about anything. I'm gonna make this up. Your wife wants a new sofa. You and your wife are talking about buying a new sofa, and y'all just talking about it. You're not getting on your phone or on your computer searching on it. You're just talking about it. Have you later found out that your phone is giving you ads about sofas?
Yep.
It's already happening. It's
Yep.
already happening. They're listening to your call. They're gonna, if it had been a car, they would send you ads for cars. If it
Mhm.
had been a sofa, they're sending you ads for sofas. It's already happening. We're just choosing it on travel. And we're gonna learn. We're not gonna listen to your conversation, but we are gonna watch what you
I'm in the
go do.
database. I'm in the database on golf.
Yeah, you
They send
are.
me stuff all day.
This
All
is the concept is already tried and true. It's proven. We're just applying it to areas where, hey, people like to travel. People are going to travel anyway. We're going to do it with travel. People use Vibe rides. And this weekend, we're going to come out with a new vertical. We're going to come out with something else that we're doing this weekend. So, and it's all based on these are things that you were going to do anyway. These are things that we're going to just make it easy for you. If you're looking for a car, we're going to start sending you ads for whatever car or truck or SUV you're looking for. You'll see them on your phone and you'll wonder, how did that happen?
every time. Good.
So you guys not about just maybe I'm missing something because you guys I thought I boomerang had to do with travel and Uber, not Uber driving, but something like Uber driving, and one more. I forgot the one more. But now it sounds like you're talking about sending them deals to go to a car dealership and
No,
stuff.
it's about
So I'm like,
it's
what?
about lifestyle. What happens is every time we go to the mailbox, she come back and says, "What was in the mail? Junk." It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't junk. It's stuff people know about you.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
why you're getting that bulk mail.
absolutely. So Does I Boomerang do travel? Absolutely yes. No doubt about it. We talked about travel. I spent time talking to you about
Right.
travel,
Yes.
but that's the travel company within I Boomerang, right?
Uh-huh.
And I talked to you about Vibe Rides, right? But
Yes.
that's a separate company, but that's a part of I Boomerang.
Right.
What I Boomerang is a technology company. I Boomerang is going to study your purchase behavior. I Boomerang.
Let me give you another one.
Okay.
Because over a period of time, and you were there too. We're both from Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You remember when McDonald's didn't serve breakfast?
I do. I do.
And people think, well, McDonald's gonna sell breakfast to make more money. No, McDonald's was supplying a need because they knew that there were two people, that the stay-at-home mom was obsolete. She's out working now. They saw the single parent home.
Mm-hmm.
They saw to get the food on the run. You would get it on the run going home, and you had to get it on the run going to school. And they start serving breakfast. And they didn't sell breakfast burritos until the influx.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So again,
Right.
Again, I mean, you pick McDonald's and it's the largest fast food restaurant in the world. But let me ask you a question. Is their food really good to you? Is it really, really like the best hamburger you could buy? Is it really?
No, don't answer that.
Is it really the best hamburger you could buy?
And don't answer that.
I'm just asking a question.
We plead the fifth.
Let me tell you like that. My wife fixed the best food that I've ever tasted.
That's
okay.
Good answer.
Okay.
Good answer.
So nobody's food is good.
Good answer.
So I know what you're saying though. No, it's not.
It's not. But how did they become the largest fast food restaurant, largest restaurant in the world?
Kids.
And their food is not that good.
Kids.
Supply. The need.
McDonald's learned the behavior of people, and they knew kids drove a lot of purchases. Moms drove a lot of purchases. So they catered to kids and to moms.
Right.
Yeah.
You take a child, I'll say 3. You put them arches in front of him, I guarantee he'll tell you where it is.
Yep, they know those big arches.
So let me tell you, my kids are older now. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this really quickly and I'll stop. My kids are 29 and 32, right? And when they were younger, it had gotten so bad that whenever we drove by McDonald's, they wanted to go, and I would always say no, that I would not drive by McDonald's. I would go out of the way, right? So they wouldn't see a McDonald's, so I would have to say no, right? Because I'm like, that's garbage, right?
Did they see the building or the sign?
The arch.
They just saw the arches.
That's
right?
That's all they need to see.
We could be way down the street, but if they saw those arches, Dad, can we go to McDonald's? Dad, can we? Hey, I would go out of my way to avoid those arches.
Right.
So, if someone wanted to talk to you about I Boomerang, how would they get in touch with you? And, how would you give them a call and talk to them about I Boomerang?
Well, they can go to my Facebook page at Boderick Boomerang. They can call me personally, and I'll gladly share my phone number with them. They can go to my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, my @Boderick Boomerang page, and I even have a farmer's business page as well. So on Facebook, so you can reach me at any of those locations. I'll give my phone number, and I'm accessible all those ways.
Okay, what about your open house next Monday on Zoom, where people can come and listen more about I Boomerang?
So that open house is just talking about what I Boomerang is, how to get into it, and we're doing that to help people in this tough economy, when people are having to stay at home because they've been laid off, right? When the economy is down, here's a business that you can run from home, right? And you're at home anyway. A lot of us like to be on our phone or on our computer anyway. You run it from home, on your cell phone, on your computer, and it is not difficult. And what we're doing on Monday is opening it up. We're inviting people to come, and we're going to take them through the whole process to help them understand how they could make some money on the side so that they could afford to go take a vacation when the time comes.
Okay. Awesome. Wow, time sure do fly fast. Broderick.
It's
Good try. Good try.
Broderick.
Wow.
I know you tried. I know you tried.
Forget it, man.
Mr. Hall, it's been a pleasure talking to you tonight about insurance and then about I Boomerang.
Yeah, that was great information. That kind of insight, because technology moves so fast, during this period of time, that sometimes it leaves people behind. But that philosophy of how people are growing their businesses, now there's minor businesses doing that, but some people are doing it on a grand scale. But that's probably the way that you are doing residual business in every area of life now.
And that's the intent, right? If you think about what Farmers is, insurance business is about residuals, right? And if you think about I Boomerang, that business is about residuals, right? How do I have customers and I keep them coming back, and I'm giving them things that they want anyway or need anyway, giving them those things, growing residuals. Right. Consistent theme.
Is Mr. One quick question. Is Mr. Halton Bugs gonna be on there?
No, he won't be on my call on Monday.
Oh, okay.
But if that would get you to join, I would ask him to participate.
Well, I was reading a thing about how to turn your network marketing business into a cash cow. So I was trying to figure out, okay. Okay, I'm a
hey man, I live with two brainiacs, man. Her and her daughter.
How we gonna do, brain? What we gonna do?
We're gonna rule the world, Pinky.
All righty then. I had to get that in there.
No problem. No problem.
Well, with that being said, we want to thank you so much for coming on, and I hope you enjoyed your interview. And I wish you the best with our Boomerang, and get some more customers with your insurance company, and stay safe out there.
Yeah, man. And we get together, man, play some golf, man.
I'm not betting with you though. I'm telling you that right now. So don't ask me.
I don't bet.
He's Tiger Woods, so don't let him jip you like that. He's Tiger Woods.
I'm not falling for that, man.
I don't bet. I know. I don't bet. They call me. They call me. They call me Robin Hood. I said, don't call me and go play then.
Well, I'm not calling you if that's the case, then. I play
for fun. I don't play. Right. I don't play to play for money. I play for fun.
There you go. There you go.
So we're gonna say good night, but you guys don't go nowhere. We're gonna play a tribute to Marvel. It's a Marvel tribute video.
Mm-hmm. To Chad Boseman.
Yes.
And we hope you all enjoy it.
Have a
It was Chadwick Boseman's performance in 42 that really made us take a second look. There is such an honor and dignity to the way that he played Jackie Robinson that we knew we needed for the character of T'Challa, the Prince of Wakanda.
Chadwick is an amazing actor and we thought would fit perfectly with the MCU.
Black Panther himself, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick, you know, he has a lot of depth. It was amazing as an audience member to look into his eyes and see what's going on.
We must find a way to look after one another as if we were one single tribe.
A lot of the things about the character are also true about Chad. He's very knowledgeable. He's an athlete, you know, martial artist. He's had a lot of experience playing roles that come with a lot of weight, you know. So I think he as a person, he as a guy has a lot of weight to him. I think he brings all of that stuff to the role, but not to mention that he's incredibly gifted as an actor and as a performer, and also as a storyteller in his own right.
I am not king of all people. I am king of Wakanda. And it is my responsibility to make sure our people are safe.
Because he is so prepared as an actor, and because his character is sort of flawless on set, it forced the other actors who had scenes with him to kind of raise their game and go, okay, this guy is not taking anything for granted. He's really leaving it all out there. So we have to keep up with him.
What doesn't Chadwick bring to the character? I mean, he's regal and grounded, and he brings a gravitas to it. So all of this feeds his T'Challa, and I think he wore the crown with dignity.
Ibombe! 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 Ibombe!
I've known him since I was about like 17, so I've known him for a really long time. Back in New York, he did the work, obviously. You know, I just think he did an incredible job being true to the character.
Wakanda forever!
I had a great time with Chadwick. Just warmth and camaraderie came into it, of course, with a great deal of respect for his previous work. So when I looked at him with proud eyes, you know, they were as mother and also as comrade and colleague and Angela. It is your time to be king.
I mean, Chadwick is just a powerhouse. He's so talented. Every single movie he's made. There's kind of this internal, almost nobility.
The Black Panther has been the protector of Wakanda for generations.
He's such a soulful actor and so professional, so present. It really gives so much to the other person, and he's awesome. And his presence on set, I think, raises the stakes a little bit for everybody.
Chadwick he's a really smart, interesting, dynamic guy, and I think he was not overwhelmed, but very surprised and somewhat taken aback by the amount of love. It ceased to become just about how well he inhabited the role and all that stuff. It's become part of our culture just as a symbol.
This welcome is one of the most amazing things I've ever experienced.
It's fun to watch just what it means to people. At times, in my head, I'll be like, well, what does this do for the world? Like, actually, what is it? You know, is it actually valuable in this climate? And I have to say, yes, it actually is. Not because it makes people escape. I think when done right, it gives people hope. I found that it means a lot.